The Miami Dolphins have done it again. Jalen Wright is going to be a problem at running back.
If there's a guy that has an opportunity to incredibly overperform your mid-third draft capital in your rookie drafts, it's Bucky Irving, and I know.
Jalen McMillan will be a superstar for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this is someone who I think will be the wide receiver one for many years.
Today we're going to talk about the top 3 sleepers right now on the waiver wire. I know some of your drafts are already over, and that's fine. You might not have the best team. I don't have the best team, but these are some of the sleepers that I've been researching, and I think these guys can actually boom going forward coming into the league. Some of these guys could even take on RB1 type value going up into the season. Some of these guys could even be wide receiver one values. All right, we're only going to talk about 3 today. Today we're first going to start with our boy, the one and only Jalen Wright.
The Miami Dolphins have done it again. Jalen Wright is going to be a problem at running back, and all Mike McDaniel can do is let out an evil smile.
Now, a lot of people have been talking about the Dolphins running back room, right? How the Dolphins got the most explosive offense, right? That team is going to score you a lot of fantasy points. And having someone like Jalen Wright stashed on your bench, we already know Devon Achane, I had him last year. He got injured a couple of times, right? I'm one of those guys that was on the sleepers. He got injured a couple of times. And we know from just his size, he's not going to be able to be healthy throughout the whole season. Now, this could also happen to someone who's aging in Raheem Mostert. Now, Raheem Mostert is not going to be the guy for Miami going forward, right? He's not going to be the running back that they're going to look at as someone that's going to be their future. And Jalen Wright is right there within that. Jalen Wright is a really great player.
You need to remember is that the Dolphins traded a 3rd-round pick to move up and select Jalen Wright in the draft. That is a serious sacrifice. Jalen Wright was not a want for Mike McDaniel. Jalen Wright was a need, and he is the future at running back alongside Devon Achane.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He runs fast. Overall, just a good player. We saw him in preseason. He was doing a lot of good things. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Jalen Wright is someone you should be stashing. Right now, he's only rostered in about 23% of leagues. So go out there, guys. Get yourself some Jalen Wright. Store him on the bench. All right, you never know what's going to happen, but he could 100% boom. Now, moving on to our next guy. This guy is a receiver. He could potentially be your savior this season. All right, we already know we got Baker Mayfield coming into his form at Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield doing his thing, what we like to see. But when we see a receiver that was in that same core group at Washington with Roma Donze, right? He was in that group of Roma Donze. He was in that group of Jalen Polk, and he wasn't far off from these guys. Jalen McMillan was actually doing a lot of good work. He played slot. He would play wide.
Jalen McMillan, the elite slot receiver.
He's a very versatile receiver, and now he's behind what? He's behind Chris Goodwin and Mike Evans. I think he can carve himself a role in that team. He's already ahead of Trip Palmer, so I think he's right there. He's that kind of guy that you want to stash. He's only rostered right now in about 2.7% of leagues, so he's definitely worth the value. So guys, go out there and definitely pick up Jalen McMillan. He is that guy. All right, even in college he was doing it, and I'm sure he's going to do it in the NFL.
Jalen McMillan will be a superstar for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this is someone who I think will be the wide receiver one for many years once Chris Godwin and Mike Evans leave.
Now, moving on to my last running back to talk about, it's going to be Ray Davis. Now, I currently have James Cook as my RB2, and I'm really lacking in that. I'm like, James Cook is not going to get me that touchdowns that I need, especially maybe this season where they have Ray Davis in there, who's a really good goal line back.
Bills rookie running back Ray Davis looked pretty impressive in his second preseason game last night versus Steelers. This dude's built like prime CJ Anderson, standing at only 5'8", but weighing 220 pounds while being faster and more explosive.
He's big. He's 5'8", 255, I think. Huge, like a running back built guy. Like, he's striking. This is a guy that's going to take over. He's going to beat down defenses. He's going to take over the field. You put him in, everybody's looking at Ray Davis. He's a dog.
The Buffalo Bills had already signaled that James Cook's not a bell cow workhorse running back. What did they do last season? They gave a ton of carries to Latavius Murray. They gave a ton of carries to Ty Johnson. They brought in Leonard Fournette to get some carries. And what do they do this year in the 4th round? They draft Ray Davis, bell cow, workhorse, power, in between the tackles, running back, Ray Davis.
So that's the kind of guy you want to be betting on. If, for example, James Cook isn't really doing it, you have some of your league mates that took James Cook and they don't have Ray Davis stash or something, go out there and pick up Ray Davis. He might be the guy getting the touchdowns in this offense. They're already trying to lower the load on Josh Allen. They don't want to put him in those situations, and Ray Davis is only rostering 14% of leagues, guys. Go out there and get yourself some Ray Davis. You won't regret it. All right, honorable mention could be Bucky Irving. I don't know if should I even add out to the video, but Bucky Irving is a really attractive ad as well. If you guys can get your hands on Bucky Irving right now, I say do it, because Rashad White, as we know, he was very inefficient last season. He had a lot of volume for sure, but he was very inefficient for the volumes that he had. One of the most inefficient running backs in the league. So if you can go ahead and get yourself his RB2, solidify RB2 in Bucky Irving, who's just younger, just more spriteful, more of a just fucking runner. He's just a better runner, more agile. He just doesn't give a fuck. He has that dog in his eyes, bro. That's the kind of guy you want on your team, bro. And I cannot end this video without telling y'all to get our boy Bucky Irving. You feel me? Bucky the man. And shout out to Good Sports. We watching him right there. We watching him. We watch good football, right? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But without further ado, peace out. Bye bye. Love you, motherfuckers. Mwah.